Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The moment the girl lifted her shaky hand toward my doorbell, I felt something cold slide down my spine. Her face was pale, her eyes puffy, and she held her belly with both hands as if shielding something fragile. Before I could ask who she was or why she looked like she had been rehearsing this visit for hours, she whispered the sentence that detonated inside my chest. I need to talk to you about your husband. My breath stilled. For a single suspended moment, the hallway felt too narrow, too silent. I stepped aside and let her in, even though something deep inside begged me to close the door and lock it, to pretend that knock never happened. She introduced herself softly. I am Myra. My son is a student at your husband's school. Her hands trembled as she lowered herself onto the sofa. The room felt unbearably warm. I opened a window, needing air, needing space, needing anything that kept me from drowning. She hesitated. One shaky inhale. Her fingers curled over her stomach. I am pregnant, she said. And I know this is wrong. I know this is a nightmare to hear, but I could not keep it secret anymore. Your husband has been helping me for months. I thought he cared. And then it became something else. My world tilted. I gripped the armrest, afraid my knees might fold under the weight of her words. My husband, the principal everyone praised for his compassion, his commitment, his spotless reputation. The same man who told me, almost proudly, that guiding struggling parents was part of his purpose. And here she was, young, vulnerable, terrified, carrying a child that did not belong to me. My mind screamed for denial. There had to be a mistake, a misunderstanding, something. When did this start? I asked, my own voice strange in my ears, too calm, too steady to belong to the woman whose heart was cracking open. Around 6 months ago, she whispered. He told me he wanted to help my son. He checked on us often. He listened to me. He said I deserved a chance at a better life. One evening after a meeting he stayed back. I was upset. He comforted me. And then, her voice broke. She lowered her head and cried silently. My jaw clenched as a wave of heat flushed through me. Anger, shock, shame. A strange sense of betrayal mixed with something I hated myself for feeling. Was it jealousy? Was it pity? Was it grief? I needed answers. I needed to hear him deny it, or confess, or explain why the man I loved, the man I trusted completely, had crossed a line he always preached about. I left her on the sofa and walked into my bedroom to call him. He answered on the second ring, his voice warm and familiar. Hey love. Everything okay? For a heartbeat, I almost hung up. I almost pretended I had dialed the wrong number and stepped into the wrong life. But the truth was already spreading inside me, unstoppable. There is someone here who needs to talk to you, I said. The pause on the other end was so long it felt like the air between us turned to stone. Who? His voice was small now, afraid. Myra. Another pause. Deadly. Heavy. Final. When he spoke again, his voice cracked. I am coming home. I went back to the living room. Myra sat still, staring at her hands. She looked like someone who expected punishment instead of understanding. And somehow, even through the ache splitting my chest, I could not hate her. She looked too broken, too unsure if she deserved to exist in my home for even one more second. You are not safe alone in this, I told her. The words surprised me, but they were true. Whatever happens, we deal with the truth today. Minutes later, the front door opened. He stepped inside, eyes darting from me to her. Guilt spread across his face like ink poured into water. He sank onto a chair, unable to look at either of us. I wanted to help her, he began, voice barely above a whisper. It started with good intentions. Then I convinced myself that I was supporting her, that it would not go too far, that I could handle it. But I betrayed you. I betrayed everything. His voice shook. She did not ask for this. I took advantage of her trust. The room vibrated with silence. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. I wanted to collapse and disappear. But instead, tears rolled down my face slow and hot, carving a path through every piece of me he had shattered. Are you in love with her? I asked. He shook his head. No. I was trying to feel important, needed, respected in a way I should have earned at home but tried to steal somewhere else. I am sorry. I know sorry means nothing now. Myra wiped her eyes. I never wanted to ruin your life. I thought he cared. I thought I mattered. And then I found out I was pregnant. Panicked. He told me he needed time. But time only made things worse. I looked at both of them. My husband drowning in regret. The young mother drowning in fear. And me drowning in betrayal that tasted like blood in my throat. In that moment, I realized something painful and powerful. His affair was not just between him and her. It was a mirror, and I was staring at a version of my life I never imagined I would face. I stood slowly, wiped my cheeks, and spoke with a clarity that surprised all three of us. This ends today. Not the consequences, not the pain, but the lies. We are done with lies. His shoulders collapsed. Myra closed her eyes, as if releasing something heavy. I breathed in, steady and deep, and stepped into the truth I could no longer avoid.